Keith, what does this fight mean to you?
Oh man, this fight is one of the pinnacle fights of my career right now. This fight is, one of the biggest platforms, biggest stages, and this fight means a lot for the welterweight division. The welterweight division right now is in a flux with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao announcing their retirement. 3 years ago, I was calling myself the new kid on the block, and how hard it is for the new kids on the block to get the spotlight. But now with these big money makers and these big, headline fighters out of the picture, the cameras, the fans, they want to know where to focus their attention next. This fight is one of those fights where everybody is paying attention to, and it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to putting on a tremendous performance, getting a great victory, and just constantly proving myself in the welterweight division.
Is this in some ways, who's the next Floyd fight?
I hate that, man. I hate that. Who's the next Ali? Who's the next Michael Jordan, man? There's not a next after something already occurred, right?
Right.
You don't get a next. What you do though, if you want to say who's the next, the question is who's the next superstar. It's not about replacing Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has a legacy that is long and it's steep. Nobody, especially at 27 years old, is going to replace a Floyd Mayweather overnight. So that's what I tell people. Floyd Mayweather worked so hard. He really didn't start making good money, till he beat Oscar De La Hoya. Then he started making good money. Then what? The past 2 fights, he opted out and made some great money, you know what I'm saying? Right towards the end of his career. And now renegotiating in his retirement with, what do you call it? A 10? It's pretty much $100 million minimum payday, So no fighter right now can replace someone like that. The gap between being a lower multi-million-dollar fighter into the 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 100s. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe that Mayweather was able to accomplish pretty much what the only people that accomplished that much wealth in the sport of boxing, in my opinion, is Muhammad Ali, making $4 million back in the 60s, right? And Mike Tyson making the money he made in the 80s, and I think with inflation, you do the math, Ali pretty much was making tons of money. He was on top of the world back then.
Keith, going back to that power-packed 147 weight division, I mean, right now there's a lot going on. You just said that you're no longer the new kid on the block. We know that. Who do you think is the new kid on the block that you've passed the baton to?
Once again, man, ain't no passing going on. You want to get in this race, you got to earn your position. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So nobody passes anything on. You run up to the top. You show the world I got the skills. I belong here.
But who do you see sprouting up? Rather,
the kid right now that sprout up and is gonna have his name in the mix very, very soon is Errol Spence Jr.
I knew you were gonna say it. Yeah.
Now, I like my boy Brian Perella, who just performed and stopped an undefeated fighter in great fashion, but he's still a little far behind. He's got more proving to do, more performances. He's got to get that record up. But Errol Spence is in prime position to, technically he kind of still is the new kid on the block. He's opened up and dominating fashion similar to the way that I did, and he's trying to make a statement for himself.
And he's still calling your name a little bit too, Keith, and I know you said, he doesn't want any of this, and I'm sure at this point maybe he doesn't. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, nah, he does, man. When I hit the scene, and then on day 1 on HBO, I called out all the champions in the world. No fighter is here and made it into the top 10 not trying to be number 1, right? So, the thing about Errol, and Errol's mentioned it before, and this is the situation of being the champion of the world right now. Everybody wants my title,
How good do you feel going into this fight, and what's it going to be like to step into the ring with Shawn, a guy I know you're a friend of his, and you have a history of knowing him?
It's going to be interesting, right? Part of me wonders how much it's going to feel like sparring and how much it's not going to feel like sparring him the night of the fight. I'm very comfortable because we know our opponent. You know, if he does do anything different, it should be very easy to spot because we know what is common of him, right? So if he does a change up, it should be easy to spot, and then we just have to acknowledge it and make our adjustments. But yeah, really, you know, Shawn Porter, I've been waiting for this fight ever since I've seen him come up in the ranks when he first fought on Showtime, and then I was fighting on HBO. I knew that one day me and Shawn were going to fight each other. When I brought him into training camp, I knew one day me and Shawn were going to fight each other. You know, matter of fact, the day I heard Shawn Porter turned pro and was going to compete at a welterweight division, I knew that we were most likely going to fight each other. You know, the amateur background, he has a solid one, just like myself, just like Danny Garcia. You know. And, you know, we've seen what he's done every single time he stepped in the ring. Devin Alexander, Paula Milanaji, you know. We saw the effort he put in towards Kell Brook, but he fell short. And we saw how he beat Adrian Broner, man. So he's a great fighter. I'm looking forward to a good match.